Welcome back to Marvel Maniac and MCU After Show. This is your host, Eric Cicada, aka Mr. Honest. I am so happy to be back here with you to talk about Hawkeye Episode 4. And this one is a doozy. We got a big ending twist. It wasn't as much of a twist as it was an expectation. This expectation was via a post-credit scene of a movie we watched in theaters this year. This is what the MCU is about. This is why we watch. This is why I watch these movies, and this is what payoff is. This is payoff. Oh my goodness. So Yelena from Black Widow has made her attempt on Clint Bartman's life. Her first attempt, and has failed. Thanks to Clint's new adversary, and I'd say in training Hawkeye to be, little does he know, or probably now does he know, Kate Bishop, right? So that means we are now at a point in this story where we are at the ultimate, we have ultimate stakes at play. And now, not only is that true, this makes Yelena a key player in this story. Yelena is not, does it? Does that mean she's just here partially for this story, or she got, like, I don't know. The way she fought was so brutal. I mean, I couldn't do anything but watch those scenes play out. The fights between Clint and Yelena, and watching Kate show up to the fight, and the disarming of the gun, and the fight between Kate and Echo, Maya. And we don't really know Maya as Echo, the name Echo, yet. That's the name of this character, but it's the title of that episode is where we are kind of hinted towards that. I can't believe I'm calling her a hero at this point, because Maya is definitely a very complex character, but what a badass character at the very least, Maya, right? But we have to backtrack. This is just the end of the episode. This is the end of the episode, and an immense payoff to a lot of lead up in Phase 4 of the MCU, in the tale of Natasha Romanoff. It's a story that they rooted back to Marvel Phase 3 in Captain America Civil War, where right before, it's post Civil War era. This is when Nat goes and meets her family, and we just learn so much about the history of these two sisters, and we learn to love Yelena, but then we see that there's a little bit of blackmail going on, and Clint is directly blamed for Nat's death by Yalegra Valentina Val. Val, yes. I don't know her full name, but she's behind a lot of mischief in the MCU currently. We can say that in most of the series there's some mischief been caused by her. I'm not going to spoiler alert too many of the series right now, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, and well, that's about it. You gotta watch Falcon and Winter Soldier if you haven't yet. Get into that. That's a good one. If anyone on the outside hasn't listened to any of our other episodes, we at Marvel Maniac, aka me, Mr. Honest, sometimes my good friends Dustin and TJ come by for our after shows, meaning at the end of the season we'll cover the whole season. We didn't get to do that for Loki, unfortunately. It's just, life gets in the way sometimes. But anyway, we've done everything since WandaVision so far, and with the exception of Shang-Chi. I'm doing Shang-Chi soon. Life in the way sometimes, like I said. But every show, it's a Marvel Maniac and MCU After Show. I started just mainly on the shows, but I've been watching Marvel MCU in theaters since day one, and it's Iron Man, I'm telling you. And if you really want to count it, if you really want to count it, I was in the seats in the theaters of Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Green Goblin. I was in those seats. I was there, very much watching Norman Goblin. I almost said Norman Goblin. Norman Osborn. You know, when like that scene when it cuts back. This is freaking MCU canon now, man. I'm having I'm having like my body's shaking, you know, because that's that scene in Spider-Man, the first one, where Peter's sleeping and he's becoming Spider-Man, and the Green Goblin's like, "Rah!" It's just literally just like a jump scare, but it's actually William Dafoe. And it's the scariest thing ever. I think my mom was actually next to me, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And it's William Dafoe. William Dafoe, man, it's so good. It's the Green Goblin, and he's about to literally pop his little butt in here, man. He's scooting his way into the MCU right now. Just as Hawkeye is fighting Yelena on the rooftop, training Kate Bishop to be the next Hawkeye this holiday season. Green Goblin. The Green Goblin is about to come from that universe in that movie. I'm just talking all goofy because, dude, I mean, it's happening. That gif of that guy, Google "it's happening" gif. If you don't know what the frick I'm talking about, that's it. It's happening. Like, that's why Doctor Strange can't handle it. It's too amazing. Doctor Strange is just like, it's happening. At the end of the trailer, Doctor Strange is like, I can't contain the awesomeness. That's pretty much what Doctor Strange is saying. That's not even going to be in the movie. That's just an homage to like Marvel saying, we're doing too much awesome shit for you right now. And Doctor Strange is like freaking out. He's just freaking out. Okay, so if you like the podcast, if you are enjoying the podcast, thank you so much for being here. I see the views, I see the listeners, and the numbers are up. Jerry Jonas Jameson here. We got the numbers are in. Marvel Maniacs ahead. Thank you for listening, and we love your feedback. MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com. We always love getting it. Maybe we'll feature you on the show. So you know, keep sending your emails. Leave reviews. We will feature those in the show. I haven't got a chance to go back and read as much on that lately because I've been a little bit busy. But thank you so much for our ratings have been going up. So thank you. Keep rating. Keep reviewing. Thank you for that. It means the world. It means the world. And patreon.com/Marvel Maniac. I owe some extra content over there. I'm going to be putting out some content over there soon. It's just really just the best way you can support the show if you feel the need or want to do so. And aside from that, let's get into this episode of Hawkeye, episode 4. This episode is called Partners, Am I Right? I like the name of that. Reference to the very beginning, a line that is up and coming said. Jack has the blade at Clint's throat, just like the end, like the very end, pretty much just like picking up from the very last moment of last week's episode. Huge cliffhanger, kind of knew this would be resolved. I wasn't too worried about Clint, aka Hawkeye. But anyway, yes, what are you doing in my dining room? And he says, "You're Archer." You know, classic Jack. Alrighty, we get Jack is already instant classic for me. Why is there an Avenger in my dining room? Eleanor asks Kate's mom. Hawkeye. Kate says, "That's part of your branding issue. It's just resolved instantly." Hawkeye. It's a very instant solve. It will be very, very good and a very fast watch of the show. When there's, I want to say, 80% of the people who will watch Hawkeye, and it's in the course of the existence of Hawkeye, maybe before the Earth blows up in 1,000 years, maybe like we'll probably see this in a binge watch, and yeah, and thank you for everyone watching in the future. These are episodes being viewed on the night of, literally as they come out at 2 a.m. And it is my pleasure to be here on the brink of history in this timeline. On the date currently 12/8/2021, and I realized maybe I should be putting the dates. Major oof. After the title card, Kate tells Eleanor and Jack that they were working on a case together, her and Clint, and that they needed to use the bathroom. Kate says that they are friends slash partners, and Clint says that they would really describe them. He would really describe them better as like a friend, like friend thing. And Kate's like, no, we're more like partners. That's where we get the title, partners. Am I right? Eleanor gets a notey on her phone that says someone logged into her work computer 10 minutes ago, and if Kate or Hawkeye kind of like it's kind of like there's the levity in some of the scenes of these shows really grounds the superhero thing. And in Hawkeye, like Hawkeye is the most non-superhero of the superheroes. So and Eleanor addressing Hawkeye like that really emphasizes that. Have and she says, "Would you have anything to know about that?" And Kate's just like, "You'll never get anything out of him. CB1." CB1, his code name, has trouble opening up. And Clint's like, nobody calls me CB1. And by the way, thanks for saving the world. Jack, like you cut to Jack's like snarky face. That guy, dude, Jack, that actor, man. What is that actor's name again? We got to go find him, man, right now. What a guy. Like, I don't mean to be wooed by him. Tony Dalton. What else is he in? Oh, he's in Better Call Saul. He's Lalo. That's where I know him from. Oh my goodness, he's so good. Lalo. What a good actor. So good. So good. What a character. Yeah, he's like, thanks for saving the world. You know what? They're looking at each other face to face, but the thing is, Jack will woo you, but there's something wrong. There's something wrong about Jack. We learned a little bit about Jack this episode. We learned a little bit about him. Kate says she logged in because she needed to get into her account for a case because they are in danger, and Eleanor asks Clint if she needs Kate's help with an Avengers-level threat. Clint does confirm this all while eyeing the Ronin sword in the corner. He needs to get his outfit back. He needs to close down this identity. He needs to confirm his safety. As his former life as Ronin, there's consequences for what he's done. I love this. I love all the follow-up on what's happened to him with Ronin. Why? Because what felt to me as in Endgame, I really felt like Ronin was going to be Clint's persona. I was wondering, like, why did we get this tiny little scene of Ronin, like Hawkeye's a ninja? And that's kind of how I felt in Endgame. I'm like, Hawkeye was a ninja for one scene and all these advertisements, and that's all we get? And that's it? Like, but this is setting up this was setting up a whole arc for him, and this recovery of his character and like this 5 years he had and everything from then to here with Natasha and the breaking of my heart right now for this guy. I understand it so much more now. I could cry. I'm going to hold back tears for you, Marvel Maniacs, so we can get through this together. We've all cried no tears for Clint Bartman and Natasha Romanoff. We will get through this. Eleanor escorts Clint to the elevator while they wait. She tells him that Kate is not a superhero. Natasha, I think there's always this kind of. It's not that Eleanor underestimates Kate, but by wanting to overprotect Kate, it's not. Is it overprotecting? Is a real question. Is it overprotecting by seeing what happens to Nat? It's about the choice of being a hero, and there's such a complexity in that choice. But the people that the heroes love, trying to protect them, she's kind of undermining, in a way, undermining Kate, right? Eleanor is, and that's not very attractive to see from Eleanor. Clint says no and agrees that she's not a hero, and she says he does say she's pretty good at it, and Eleanor says Natasha Romanoff was pretty good at it, wasn't she? But being good isn't always good enough to keep you alive. Like, snarky. She assumes that Clint has kids and tells him that it's been a rough week and that she can't lose Kate. I've lost people before, and in your line of work, you have too. Clint tells her, understands. Clint is definitely stopped up by this. Clint definitely knows he doesn't want to lose more people. More than anybody. Okay, lady? He knows. She asks if he will forget the case, and he tells her he cannot do that, but he can promise to keep her daughter safe. After the door closes, it's revealed that he has the Ronin sword. He got it. You know, Clint is he's sly, he's sneaky. Hawkeye, you amazing. You amazing, Hawkeye. Hawkeye's turning out to be a fantastic show. What a great show. Clint texts Laura to run a search on Sloan Unlimited, Laura's Clint's wife, the name they found in Bishop's security base. Cut to Eleanor on the phone telling someone, call her back. It's urgent. Uh-oh, Kate's mom is in with the big bet. She's not just on the side. Eleanor is making phone calls, dude. Let's not forget this. Let's not forget Eleanor's making phone calls. Like, we may see Eleanor, like, on the floor, being helpless. Like, we may feel for Eleanor. We feel for Eleanor and Jack in this episode at one point. They make us sympathize with their characters, and leave us with that sympathy at the very most. And we only learn about Jack's criminal activity. We don't see it. So it's very, 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 like, they're doing great. This show's doing great with complex feelings. I love this. I love this. Don't forget. We cannot forget Eleanor took a phone call and called somebody after Kate and Clint left. She called somebody. Oh my goodness. I think I just pieced together who she called, guys. I think I just literally pieced together who she called. I don't want to ruin this. Because if you really think about it, what Clint says at the end of the episode, oh my goodness. What does she say? I've never realized something in real time so fast, dude. That she had to take literally. She literally had to have part in Yelena's arrival and or hiring. I don't know why. Clint doesn't know that. I don't know why Clint doesn't know that. Or have any idea, or didn't mention that Yelena is Nat's sister to Kate. And if is that no knowledge to Clint, and that is something that slips my mind, and I may need to bring back to the table next week. Is that a secret that Nat has a sister or family? I'm pretty sure she didn't have family. The only family she had was the Avengers, known to the Avengers, right? And this other family she had, they were spies. Nobody knew about them, right? So this is just a Black Widow to Clint. And this vengeance that Yelena has against Clint is personal. And it's misguided. And how far will this misguided vengeance stretch? How many movies or shows will this stretch? Will it be resolved within the show? I'm sorry, but this question is so much bigger than this episode. So it needs to be kind of like touched upon a couple times. And it is very clear to me now. I'm sorry, Eleanor, she's causing some stank. Clint gets a call from Laura and asks if she's heard anything from that friend of hers. She says she's been very busy learning Russian and jogging a ton. Tracksuits, so Sloan is their front. Yes, she said that his boss is Jack Duquesne and laundering money to the CEO. Clint excitedly repeats this back to her, and she assumingly asks if he's going to need another day. He says yeah, and tells her about Kate and how he really needs her help because she is in the middle of this. Kate really needs Hawkeye. Laura asked Clint if anything else was stolen from the compound in another language. I don't know why. Really, maybe the fact that she says the Rolex, so if anyone's listening over the phone, nobody knows what it was. I don't know. He asked if she means the Rolex, which he does say back to her in English. Wasn't that destroyed years ago? The thing she asked in another language was anything stolen from the compound. I thought so. But the same thing about your fancy outfit, like the Ronin outfit. So she's thinking that anything could have been stolen from the compound. This is crazy. Um, she can tell that Clint sounds tired and that he's running around all day. Like you can tell that the guy's tired just by in his voice. And she is so right. He's beat up. He's beat up from all the things from the previous episodes. Again, would love to see more of the two together physically. Not in the same physical spot in that cabin. Cut to Eleanor and Kate and Jack. Eleanor is talking about Kate like she's not in the room. Like she's right there, and she's telling Jack like, "Oh, she's always been about Hawkeye, Hawkeye this, Hawkeye that, crazy Hawkeye." Eleanor is maybe the most unlikable character in this show. I mean, even Jack is more likable now. Like we get this whole thing where Eleanor tells Kate that they should go out to a party. The whole point of this is that Jack is like, "Oh, it sounds like fun." I can't. I feel like dude. What the hell, man? And he's like, "We could go dancing." And Kate's like, "Oh, well, you know what? My mom doesn't even like to dance." So, and he's like, "Oh, well, I beg to differ." It's like, you think this is gonna be like another one of those weird, creepy moments from Jack? I feel like they leaned so hard into those just to set this up. It's a genuine moment between Eleanor and Jack, where Kate actually can kind of acknowledge a connection between her mom and Jack, and they're really dancing and having a really fun like a really fun moment, and they got a love between them. You see it because even if it's they're running a criminal empire or doing some sort of conspiracy together, there has to be some sort of love in there. I know it's kind of messed up, effed up. If you think about it. It has to be there if it's going to be grounded in reality, and that's what makes the show freaking great. That's what's going to make this drama at the end of the show. Whatever's going to happen, whatever is going to make this tower collapse. These arrows hit it at the head. We're going to hurt. It's going to hit us. These arrows are going to hit us in the heart. You know what I mean? I'm feeling the a lot of emotional buildup here. Because that scene was really good. And for the first time, I cared about those two characters a little bit more, Eleanor and Jack. We've been at their apartment together with Kate, and we've seen Jack we've seen him make a lot of attempts to just get the three together to be a little bit of a family. How many times now? Creepy guy, creepy. I've been like almost on the creepy train. I've been along with Kate for how long? But they've been trying to be family. At one point you're like, just give him a chance. Like, just try. But we just learned that he's running a criminal underworld. He's laundering money, and he's not right. Kate is correct on readings, and but the characters are having a moment. It's as simple as that. I'm taking too long on this scene. I'm just finding that we're having scenes like this in a superhero show is really great. Jack says, any laughter is better than being alone on the holidays. We cut to Clint alone in Kate's aunt's apartment, and he's taping drink mixes all over his body and his wounds. They are everywhere on him and he's laying down when the doorbell rings. It's Kate. She enters with a Christmas hat, pizza, and the doggy who was apparently named something like Spaghetti last week that I don't agree that that was the name. I think she was just saying stuff. Somebody was saying that was the name. I don't think that was the name. She says, this is the classic Hawkeye costume we've been waiting for. I'm pretty sure she's talking about the Christmas sweaters they brought. Clint's like, what's this? And she says she's been making this is me saving the day. She says this is me saving the day. And she brings a bunch of movies for the movie marathon that he was supposed to have that day. Even though it means a lot to him, and it was really sweet of her to do this. Wasn't that for the kids? Like, the kids are the ones who lost out on this. He has a whole family. They should have gotten a FaceTime. I think it's a little effed up that Clint is the big kid who needed the movies, and you know what? We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna patronize it. It was cute, and I loved it. we're just gonna come up with a. So Clint tells Kate that Jack is the CEO for the Tracksuit Mafia and how Sloan Unlimited launders money for them. She says we're gonna have to come up with a plan to take down my mom's fiance's organized crime ring while simultaneously having holiday celebration. And we get a fun montage, but this montage is a very active one. There's a lot of stuff happening in it, conversations and scenes. They're putting matching gaudy holiday sweaters. Kate puts on a blender of daiquiris, so she's getting a little tipsy. Kate writes on a poster, like it's an actual like poster on her aunt's wall. It's like one of those framed posters, that she needs to get the cops off her. TSM got to get them to leave her alone, and she needs to find out why and how Jack is connected to all of this. Clint says next to nothing. He's just like, yeah, right. And Kate's like, this is where you finish with the plan. And like Clint's like, I'm not the guy that comes up with a plan. You think about the Avengers, you think about the Avengers too. Like you think about all the movies that Clint's in, and he's like, he's not the plan guy. He's a support. He's the backup. He is an operations man. He is Hawkeye. He deserves a movie. He deserves a show like this. It deserved to be sooner. But right now, I think this is kind of a meta joke on he's never been the guy to come up with the plan. He's never been the guy to come up with the damn plan. Then he points out that the marker she's using is permanent. It's not dry erase. And she tries to wipe it off and cuts to Clint feeds the doggy. I love this. The show's such good vibes. It really is a great lighthearted show with some drama added. Because I could tell it's going in a kind of darker direction from where we left off. Kate asks Clint where they get more trick arrows. He tells her that there aren't any more trick arrows, and he says he only has a few more, but you can't just put them on any shaft. Kate covers the tree with decorations as they're talking. She should just a boomerang arrow. And Hawkeye kind of laughs. He's like, these come back at you. Why would you do a boomerang arrow? They come back at you. And she's like kind of trying to defend it. It's a dumb idea. It's actually, I get the idea. Like she's thinking that the arrow would, like, let's be real. In her mind, she's shooting the arrow. It'll shoot directly from you. And then it'll have like a magnet effect. One arrow on the whole bow and arrow. And then magnet straight back. It wouldn't hurt you because there's kind of like a mechanical arrow that would be meant to come back into this archer slot, pull your arm back in as it lands back, and you shoot it again. This would be a very high-tech arrow. I think that she may make a version of this later on. It'd be very cool. we see a boomerang arrow. Hawkeye laughs. Yeah, he laughs at this. This is funny. They decorate the tree together. Clint says he can knock someone unconscious with this tiny little ornament because Kate says, like, show me a trick. So he's really hesitant to prove it to her, but he does. He flicks it on the TV, and then it freaks her out. Like, she's like, what? I want to know how to do this. Show me how to do this. So then we get a montage of him training her. Amazing. And this is really fun to watch. And she does it. It's a montage of him training her to flip the disc to turn on the TV. It leads to her succeeding and them celebrating that. Not bad, kid. Best shot you ever took, she wants to know. And they're taking a break. Kate asks Clint the best shot he ever took. And he doesn't want to answer it. And she says, come on, it'll be like a Christmas present. Tell me. And he says, it's the one I didn't take. And he says, the time I met someone, I was sent out to take her out. And when I got there, when it was time, I couldn't do it. I just had this feeling that she wanted out. Turns out I was right. So there's so much about Nad in this episode. The song from the Soul Stone plays in the background. When it's the same song that Thanos kills Gamora to. This is more of a significant song now to Clint and Natasha. When Natasha dies. And this is kind of like ominous in the background of this episode a lot. And Kate says, you mean Natasha? And he says, yeah, she was there. She was the best there was. Kate says she's sorry, and Clint says, yeah, well, when you do what I do for a living, it's just a game of managing loss. He's trying to teach her a lesson. He's trying to let her know that before she becomes an Avenger or a superhero or whatever she wants to be, that you're going to lose people. It's not if, it's when. I love how serious I sound in this. I hate acting like I'm like I know this story. It's like when you talk about superhero shows, you are gonna be telling people that superheroes tell people you are going to lose people. It's inevitable when you talk about superhero shows and movies. So she says when they're watching a movie, Kate says to Clint that it must have been really hard to lose his whole family in the blip. And she asks him, "Is that where you met the Ronin?" She's got like a secondhand feeling about Clint. She's got a connection to Clint, Kate. And she says, "It's you, isn't it?" She just asks. She knows. It's all over her face. She just has this feeling. She asks him, "It's you," and he says, "Everybody dealt with the blip in their own way. I continue doing what I was trained to do." And she says, "Protect people," and he says, "Hurting people." Kate tells him he was a hero, and Clint replies that he was a weapon. Kate says he made mistakes, but those are behind him, and he disagrees and said it's tied to him and his family, and that's why he's here. He can't go home until he fixes it. And this makes Kate look just a little bit guilty, like, oh, maybe that's why I shouldn't have gone through the roof that time. Maybe that's why I shouldn't have gotten in the suit. Maybe that's why she gets it now a little bit, right? A little bit more. Clint tells Kate that he appreciates what she did today, and it means a lot. He tells her to rest. They got a big day tomorrow. She says, "Yes, boss." And I love it. I just love the dynamic building between these two characters. Don't you dare take Hawkeye from us yet. If you're going to take Hawkeye from us in an Obi-Wan Kenobi style way, don't do it in the first Star Wars in this case. Like, just take him later. I don't want Hawkeye. I can't do it. You can't do it. When he takes his earpiece out, again, one earpiece, full on silence. So he's only hearing through that one earpiece, it seems. If so, that's very tough. It shows his kids right before the snap. Moments from former like him killing people as Ronin, and then Nat kicking off the wall in Voromir. The next day, Clint drinks from a coffee cup that says Thanos was right. I love any mention of Thanos. I think we'll be getting Thanos references as many as Tony Stark references in the MCU until the end. The Mad Titan himself. Clint directs Kate to retrieve his trick arrows from the LARPers. We get to see the LARPers again. Kate finds them doing sword training at Central Park. She tells them that she's on Avengers business and she needs Hawkeye's tracking arrows. They're an NYPD facility near that Manhattan Bridge. They say they will help her if she makes it worth their while. This is so ridiculous, these LARPers. She reluctantly agrees and she fist bumps them. Kazi is leaving a car lot. Kazi, tracksuit mafia gang guy. He definitely was the guy fighting Kate in that tracksuit in that earlier episode. I said he will be an important factor later. I'm calling him. I'm patting myself on the back for that. Clinton is in his backseat with a gun. He tells Kazi, and it's his gun, by the way. He tells Kazi he wants him to leave town. It's as in Kazi's gun. Before he does, he wants to put the Ronin situation to bed. He tells Kazi he's not a stupid guy. As in, he's assuming he's not a stupid guy. Like, you're gonna help me help you. If you're trying to flatter me, you're way off your mark. Kazi tells Ronin. Oh, I refer to Clint as Ronin. He's very Ronin here. Very Ronin Clint vibes. Don't get me wrong. I still think you're a doorman. I love that from Clint. But he has he tells him he has a big role in this operation, Kazi, and he knows the operation better than anyone, and he knows what Maya's boss wants, and knows he doesn't like this attention that he's getting. Kazi asks what Hawkeye wants, and he says, "I don't want anyone else to die." And Maya's need for vengeance is going to get people killed. Her need for vengeance is going to get people killed. Kazi reaches for a knife in his sun visor, and Clint has it in the rear mirror. And he says, and I have the box cutter under the seat. Clint says he knows Kazi is the only one who can convince Maya to lay off. And Kazi asks for his gun back. And he's like, are we done? He asks for his gun back. He's like, yes. And then he walks so far away, like throws the gun like off in the distance. I fucking love that. So what a badass. What a badass. It's like a badass dude disarming kind of another badass dude. Like this dude's like a dude who thinks he's badass. I can't call that dude badass. He's a dude who thinks he's badass. And then okay, Clinton returns to Kate's Ann's place where Grills, we met Grills before. He's a LARPer, former LARPer / good guy Grills. He offers Clint a snickerdoodle. All the LARPers from the park are pretty much there as Kate is getting dressed into an armored garment. They're putting her in. I guess this is part of the deal. Clint is so surprised, and he asks Kate, like, they simply asked her to get his arrows and not stage a play. But like, we know these people, and didn't we just see Clint in a suit of like armor? Like, didn't he give it everything he had, like, to just get information that he had to get? Not like but an episode or two ago. How dare he judge Kate? Like, she had to do this to get the arrows. She's just like him. The Rolex wasn't destroyed at the Avengers compound in a text. The transmitter is signaling from 3715 Godfrey Road. Clint says, I gotta go. Kate says, we both gotta go. And Clint says, you gotta change. A LARPer enters and says, Hawkeye, arrow retrieval mission complete. And Clint has to take her bag that says bombshell on it that was made for her by her fiance. She's kind of like, I don't want to give you my bag, like in reality. But they got to take the bag. It's got all the arrows. There's a lot of arrows in there. Clint and Kate are on the rooftop staging the location of the Rolex. This actually makes me kind of worried, actually, from that last scene. The way we got the text to the location of the place of the Rolex, right? Makes me like kind of worry about like the well-being of Clint's family right now. I hope they're okay. Clint, in a way, like we didn't see her say that. She got a text. He got a text. Okay, so Clint asks Kate if he wants. Kate asks Clint if he wants to tell her what they're doing here, and Clint tells her vaguely that something important was stolen from him and sold at the black market. Clint is explaining to Kate all about good entrances and exits, about like sneaking into places and stuff. Just when he sees down on the street that Kate is just like making her way in to the place they're about to sneak into, without listening to any of this. He's just like, she's already gone. She's just already gone. Clint tells her to use her grappling hook to go up to the room, and she does it her own way. She gets in with a senior citizen bringing up groceries. She directly asks the senior citizen to let her in. She even tells him in the elevator that she's on the phone with an Avenger. And the person's very confused. So Clint is just like looking kind of destroyed / annoyed on the other end, across the way in the building, at the building. Clint picks I say Clint picks a lock, but I literally probably mean Kate picks the lock because we know that Kate is the one breaking into the apartment. Mr. Note Taker, Mr. Honest. She gets in and sees blinking red strobe lights all over the place. This is apparently for the deaf, which I don't know. She shoots arrows at them. Lights and fires. She fires putty arrows to cover them. She tells Clint about them. She finds Clint's family's name on the desk. Maya enters and attacks. Now, this is where we get the series of insane action between Maya and Kate. There's a huge struggle, a huge fight. You saw what went down between that. There's a moment where Kate is being held by Clint, mirroring Nat, him holding Nat on Vormir, and he's traumatized by him not being able to hold her up and bring her back. There's something in there where he just can't bring her back, and she falls. And there was the song playing, and he had to actually drop Kate. So like his triumphant moment there was him like she was like pick me up, and he drops her. So they fight off, like they're fighting off both Maya, and what we soon learned to be Yelena. Dude. So the mass assailant was Yelena. That's, I'm not gonna go literally beat for beat for this fight because it was just so much. It was emotional. I thought the fight was really good, really intense, and I loved every second of this episode. And as a Marvel fan, I think knowing that we are going to get more moments like this throughout the shows, connected to the movies and into the movies and into the shows, the payoff is insane. And I think if we can keep building these and bringing the audiences back and forth, and if we as an audience support the shows and keep watching them and bringing them back and forth, they're going to keep doing it, and the content's only going to continue to get better, and the viewers are actually there too. I know the audience is there for it. So thank you for being here today and talking about it with me. If you were talking back, I will have you know this is a podcast and I couldn't hear you. If you talk to us at marvelmaniacpod@gmail.com, we'll talk back. Also, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, @marvelmaniacpod, patreon.com/marvelmaniac to support us. $5 a month goes a long way. And we will see you next week for episode 5 of Hawkeye. And very, very soon, if not next to 2 weeks from now, a week from now, I don't know where I am right now in the world on dates, but we got Spider-Man No Way Home coming out. Oh my goodness. It is a great time to be a fan of Marvel, and it is a great time talking about it with all of you wonderful Marvel maniacs. There I go. I said it again. If I was the person in the name of a movie, Marvel Maniac, the audience of that movie would be cringing because I've said the name of it so many times. Okay. Until next time, Avengers, disassemble.